What are we going to call these?
The Mobcast. The Mobby. The Poddy.
Going to try a new format. So we're going to do a training session. We're just going to go through mobility drills, a little bit of strength exercises as well. And just so you guys can see what sort of we do, we're going to coach each other through it. Anything from you? Freestyle?
No, bro. Yeah, just freestyle. Go hard. Have some fun.
Yeah, go through like our favorite exercises, and then hopefully you get like a better idea. Sometimes on the podcast we just talk and you can't sort of get the visual. So yeah, we'll go through the exercises.
I want to start with two of my favourites. We've got a knee cars. Hopefully the mic's working properly, but I want to start off with the knee cars. With these, the setup is pretty simple. You're just going to sit down on your bum, and then you're going to hook one arm underneath the knee and just bring that heel off the ground. So knee cars, we're just working on this knee joint. A sort of cue I like to use is like the ankle's sort of going to be the direction the leg's going to move. But then at the same time, you still want to be thinking here, this is where the work's being done. So all we're going to do is turn in for me, please, Troy, nice and slowly, making sure we're keeping that leg high. And then we're going to go up. And then we're going to turn out slowly, slow and controlled, and then come back down. So with these, you can continue, please, Troy. With these, you can either go anti-clockwise or clockwise. But the idea with cars, and the reason why I like it so much, is because you get some healthy movement through the joint without actually punishing it with, I would say, some exercises that the knee doesn't actually need. And if you look at Troy, like he's very tense, like he's turning his body on and getting as much tension as he can while he's doing this movement.
And it's like an easy one too, eh?
Yeah.
And you're sort of looking at that shin bone to move. Yeah.
And once again, like the cue's like sort of the foot, you're watching the foot, but as Troy just said, if you watch the shin bone, then it can sort of move a little bit cleaner and better. And like, as you can tell, probably Troy, you get a good bit of movement through the knee and it feels pretty healthy.
What do bad knees do? They don't move so good?
They don't move so good.
Yeah, sweet. So we're just trying to get that
movement there, and then obviously adding it with like, because if I think of it like that, if you just drop down and relax, bro, if I think of the knee like that, I'm like, well, my knee struggles when I go through a squat pattern. So when I'm literally like this, it struggles to get there. So how do I get the knee awake in order for me, exactly right, internal and externally rotation, in order for my knee to actually bend properly? And that's what I found from doing these knee cars. And then obviously adding them up with the next exercise is where it goes.
Sweet.
So I like to combo these up, or the knee cars up, with some step ups before Troy obviously goes through the movement. The reason why I like these is because they're short range. Knees don't like going through long ranges to begin with if you're dealing with pain. But this is the perfect exercise to sort of start off with. All right, so we're going to go 1 foot hovering, please, Troy. Out there, and all we're thinking about is bending one leg, so the leg that's not hovering, or the one that's glued to the ground, and we're just trying to get that VMO or that quad to turn on before we come back up. All right, and another cue for Troy would be to just bring that heel down to the ground, very soft tap before he goes back up.
No sort of shit reps there?
Yeah, no shit reps to these, bro.
Yeah.
Like, the worst thing that you can do with these is do them too fast. You're wobbling like a fish. We're trying to create stability through that quad. It's a very short rep range. Eventually you can add some height to it as well, and add weight slowly to this movement as well. But what I like, if you turn towards me, Troy, what I like is as Troy is doing them, so obviously the cue for him, is like sort of close to that toe, the distance to begin with. And then as you get like real strong with it, you can just sort of go further out towards me, and just really test yourself out. Just as long as you're not breaking from the hips too much, you're sort of staying.
Sort of
bro, you don't want to be doing that. You sort of want to keep upright and just try and load that quad as much as you can.
And I can already feel that quad pumping the further I go out. Yeah,
they're good, bro. I love them, mate.
And then how many reps? Just
10 to 20.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to start off, bro, more. I reckon volume's better. And then as you get like, you add height and the weight, then you can slowly start dropping the reps and then adding some more load.
So burner first and there, just so you know it's working, eh? Yeah, these have worked good with some of my clients in the past, and just easy because it's like no equipment, body weight, burners.
It's good for like guys that play footy,
because
you can do them out in the field. You can do it with the boots on, you can do it with bare feet, you can do them at home. You can do it anywhere, really.
Yeah.
And like, once again, that 100-day rule, if you're doing it for 100 days, for 100 reps on each leg, that's a good starting.
And that's what sometimes people miss. Like, they get the exercise right, but then they might do it once and then expect like miracles. But it's more like that accumulation of like 100 days in a row.
Exactly right. That's the best thing I learned from this guy. Do it for 100 days and then see how you feel after it.
Boom.
Mad.
So I'm going to go through like how we get our clients to touch their toes. Sort of the two main exercises we use is the Jefferson curl into elephant walk superset. They both work like certain things that sort of are super important for people like being able to get low. Jump up. Quick demo on the Jefferson curl. Chin to chest. Roll the shoulders forward. This is what people get wrong. And then lower yourself all the way while keeping the knees nice and locked, and just reach as far as you can. Okay, we're just teaching the body how to bend, and then come back up, and then just do a couple reps while I just keep talking.
Yeah, sweet.
So main things that people get wrong is they sort of RDL that top bit, so they're too straight here instead of really getting that fold on the movement. The other one is just that awareness about locking this knee. So people go down and then they automatically start bending at the knee, which just gets the hips involved too much and you're not focusing on that hamstring. Locking that knee really targets that hamstring more. The other thing we have to worry about sometimes is if you've had disc issues, it's probably not an exercise I start people on, just because I feel like that flexion through those discs, since you've already had a bulging disc, the flexion is not going to help out. Okay, we can build up to a Jefferson curl. So usually like that flexion is just going to flare up those discs. So we sort of tend to go away from the Jefferson curl.
Yeah.
And yeah, anything?
Nah. On.
Yeah.
On.
Good. We always start everyone off on body weight, get the technique first.
Pattern.
And then you can start adding weight, but you add weight by going like 2 kilos, 4 kilos, 6 kilos, 8, 10.
Yep.
We don't go too heavy. You can sort of sort it out before then, eh?
You don't want to go too heavy to start off with anyway.
Yeah.
Like, it's just building that tolerance first.
Yep.
That controlled flexion. And then adding weight as you get the pattern right.
Yeah, and then just that awareness of just being able to bend and just getting the reps in.
That's all it is.
Go our superset this with the elephant walk. So we start people bending off like how far they can go. Chero's already got a bit of flexibility. It doesn't matter if you can't touch your toes on these ones. You can sort of start at the level. But all we're going to do is bend one knee and then we're just going to lock it straight. Okay. I've messed that up, eh? Bend both knees.
Yeah, bend both knees. Sorry, bro.
That's what happens when you're an online coach.
Yeah, exactly right.
Bend both knees.
Bend both knees.
And then we're going to straighten his right leg, okay? So work on that, locking that knee, and then he's going to get that tension through the hamstring. And sometimes I like to just drive that head towards the knee to get more of that neural feel.
Yeah, bro.
Before bending both and then going to the other side. So we're learning lockout of the knee on this one. So when you go back to your Jefferson curl, you can feel that locked knee sensation.
Yeah, exactly right.
A lot of people struggle with, they're not fully locked out. They're more like a little bit of a bend, hence not targeting our hamstrings enough and just loosening them up. And it's a nice, easy movement to start to, say you're struggling already with movement, go one from the knees maybe.
From the knees?
Yeah. So anyone can start, see? Maybe you can only get to about here for touch the toes. So we're just doing the same movement, but we're just getting that movement through. I start a lot of guys, say you're in your 60s even, and we can just start them off at that range. So every exercise we do has like a regression and then a progression. And those two are the main ones we start with to get people sorted out and getting able to bend down and touch the toes there.
Just even having that measurement too. So if you are starting at your knees, and you feel like you can go further, then it's just a case of just walking your hands down, right?
Yeah.
And just constantly trying to walk your hands down till you can touch your toes and eventually touch the ground and then go through those levels that we sort of coach those guys through.
And we're just trying to teach the body that like it can go into those movements safely.
Safety.
Like your body's pretty much working. You're trying to teach your body and allow your body to like say, okay, it's fine to go into those positions without the fear of injury. And then the amount of reps we always do with them, we usually do 5 to 10 reps on these and 5 here, just so the low amount of reps just helps you be able to focus on the technique a lot better. Yeah. So in summary, went over the knee stuff.
Yeah.
Any more tips?
Sort of like just understanding that the cars is sort of to wake up or grease the joint, I'd call it, and then just taking it through like a bit of a pattern or a movement with the step-ups. And just making sure you like we always reiterate to everyone, just making sure that your technique's flawless and it's really good, and then just continue it on and trying to get it better through range, through reps, or through load.
And then same things with Jefferson curl to elephant walk, teaching the body and like allowing your body to understand that it's safe to go on those ranges, and then just slowly progressing that exercise as we go along. Sweet.
Thanks, bro.